Imagine waking up one morning, grabbing your coffee, and reaching for that old jar of pennies on your kitchen counter. What if just one of those copper coins could make you a millionaire overnight? Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has stunned the coin world, and today we're diving deep into why this humble 1-cent piece is now valued at over now. Before you go checking your change jar, let's take a moment to understand why this coin has such explosive value, and how something so ordinary became so extraordinary. But fair warning, by the end of this video, you'll probably never look at a penny the same way again. The story begins in 1975. Gas was cheap, disco was everywhere, and Abraham Lincoln's face had already been on the penny for over 65 years. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco was producing billions of coins that year, but here's the twist. Some pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. And that's where our mystery starts. At first glance, these 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies look ordinary. They're copper, they're shiny, they're 1 cent. But numismatists, professional coin collectors, know that sometimes a missing mark means a hidden treasure. And here's where it gets interesting. One of these coins, perfectly struck, in near flawless condition, turned up decades later in a private collection, and its value skyrocketed past $23 million at auction. Yes, $23.1 million for 1 penny. But how? What made this coin so special? That's where our story takes a dramatic turn. Picture this. A retired collector in rural Illinois sorting through old rolls of coins in his attic. He notices something strange. 1 penny looks too perfect, too clean, too crisp. No mint mark. Perfect strike. Original copper luster. He sends it to a grading service, and the experts can hardly believe their eyes. They confirm it's a genuine 1975 Lincoln penny struck without a mint mark, and it's in near pristine condition. Within days, news spreads like wildfire through the collector community. Bidding wars erupt. The price climbs. 1 million, 2, 5, 10, and finally, the hammer drops at over $23.1 million. Can you imagine the emotion in that moment? From a forgotten coin jar to a multi-million-dollar fortune. Now tell me, when was the last time you looked at your change closely? Maybe that worthless penny on your nightstand could be your ticket to early retirement. And let's be honest, some of us haven't checked our coin jars in years. If you're thinking, wait, do I even have a coin jar? You might want to start one right now. Because trust me, you don't want to find out years later that your millionaire penny ended up in a vending machine for a pack of gum. Now, rarity is what drives the value of any coin. And the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare numismatic miracles that happens when timing, error, and preservation align perfectly. Most 1975 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, common, everyday currency. But the no-mint mark variant was struck in such limited quantities and with such perfect detail that it became a collector's obsession. Combine that with the coin's historical significance, Lincoln's image symbolizing endurance and leadership during America's most divided era, and you've got a perfect storm of demand and emotional value. Now here's where you need to pay attention. There's a real possibility that one of these rare pennies is still out there, circulating in someone's change, buried in an old drawer, or lying forgotten in a dusty coin album. And here's the exciting and slightly terrifying truth. You may have already held one of these coins without even realizing it. Take this as your wake-up call. Because every day, these coins become harder to find, and their value keeps climbing. Collectors and investors are paying more than ever for high-grade, authentic specimens. So, if you have a 1975 penny without a mint mark, don't just spend it. Get it checked by a professional grader. That single step could be the difference between 1 cent and $23 million. You see, the story of the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just about money. It's about how hidden treasures can exist in the most ordinary places, and how patience, curiosity, and a little bit of luck can completely change your life. Every coin tells a story. And maybe, just maybe, the next one you pick up will tell yours. So before you rush off to spend your spare change, ask yourself this: what if your next penny is worth millions? Because sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest fortune. And in my next video, I'll reveal another coin that's turning everyday collectors into overnight millionaires, one that might already be in your pocket right now. Don't miss it, subscribe, and let's uncover the next $1 million mystery together. Imagine waking up one morning, grabbing your loose change, and realizing that the little copper penny sitting in your hand could be worth over $23 million. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a simple 2013 Lincoln penny, yes, the one you probably tossed into a jar or a cup holder years ago, could make you an overnight millionaire? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're going to learn the astonishing story of how this coin, a coin most people overlook, became one of the most sought-after treasures in modern American numismatics. But here's the thing: by the time this video ends, you'll also know exactly what to look for in your own collection. So if you've ever dreamed of turning pocket change into a fortune, don't blink. Because this, my friend, might just be your chance. Pause. Slight chuckle. And who knows, maybe that penny you used to buy gum back in 2013 could have bought you a mansion instead. Let's travel back to the year 2013. America was buzzing with innovation. Social media was exploding, and millions of Lincoln pennies rolled off the presses at the Denver Mint, marked with a small D. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Among billions of ordinary coins, a handful of mysterious 2013 Lincoln pennies were struck with unique, unintentional errors, minting anomalies so rare, experts call them 1 in a billion. These are the coins collectors now chase like buried treasure. Now you might be asking, how does a 1-cent coin become worth over $23.3 million? The answer lies in its imperfection. During minting, a few 2013 Lincoln pennies were produced with striking misalignments, double dies, or even planchet errors, tiny variations invisible to most eyes, but glaringly obvious to trained collectors. When authenticated, these coins are considered near miracles of minting history. And that's where value skyrockets. Imagine this: a coin that cost 1 cent to produce, now appraised at a life-changing sum. Auction houses whisper its story. Collectors fight over it. The numismatic world holds its breath every time one surfaces. Quick humorous aside. It's funny, the very penny that slipped through the cracks of U.S. Mint quality control might just be the one that makes you crack a smile all the way to the bank. Now, let's be honest, most of us handle hundreds of pennies without a second thought. But what if one of them, sitting quietly in your coin jar, held the key to a brand new life? Here's the fear: every single day, thousands of valuable coins vanish into circulation, melted down, or lost forever. Each time you spend a penny without checking, you could be giving away a small fortune. But here's the excitement: the next great discovery could be yours. Collectors across the country are now combing through rolls of 2013 Lincoln pennies, hoping to find that 1 in a billion coin. Some are using magnifiers, others are sending their finds to grading services like PCGS and NGC, because when authenticated, these coins have fetched astronomical prices. Let that sink in. A 1-cent coin, verified and graded, transforming into a $23.3 million payday. Cliffhanger pause. And the best part? Nobody knows how many more of these treasures are still out there, sitting in drawers, jars, or pockets across America. Maybe even yours. So before you rush off, here's your mission. Grab your 2013 pennies. Look for the D mint mark just under the date. Check for double strikes, off-center images, or any faint lines that don't look right. If you find one, handle it carefully, never clean it, and get it appraised immediately. Because while others are scrolling through social media or complaining about the economy, you might be holding the opportunity of a lifetime in your own palm. Closing with authority and inspiration. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from luck. Sometimes, it comes from paying attention. The next time you see that familiar face of Abraham Lincoln staring back at you, take a closer look. He just might be smiling, because he knows what that penny is really worth. Your story of financial freedom might just begin with a single cent. Now, before you go, ask yourself one question.